The Philadelphia 76ers select Allen Iverson.
I wonder what they'll say about this one.
Where's my coach? Where's my coach?
We're in here talking about practice. Practice.
Iverson. Allen Iverson beginning to heat up.
Y'all have to show me the fool that says dreams don't come true.
Got it again! He's way too good!
Hello and welcome to this special edition of Sixer City. I'm Danny Pomels. It's official, Allen Iverson is a Hall of Famer. He'll be inducted into Springfield, Massachusetts in September. Philadelphia has seen its fair share of legendary athletes. Bobby Clark, Mike Schmidt, Julius Erving, and Wilt Chamberlain come to mind, but arguably no athlete mixed ability with charisma quite like Allen Iverson. And that's why he's especially beloved in a city renowned for its brotherly love. But AI's journey to basketball immortality did not begin in Philadelphia. As a professional, he was known to millions as the Answer. To those in his hometown of Hampton, Virginia, Allen Iverson had a different moniker.
Bubba Chuck.
Bubba Chuck displayed an aptitude for sports at a young age. He also demonstrated signs of the unique personality that swayed from charming to maddening depending on the day.
What kind of kid were you? Were you like a tough guy? Were you funny? Were you a wise guy? What were you like?
All of those in one.
One time we drove to Memphis. Now, that's a nice drive. That young man talked from the time we left Hampton till we got to Memphis. He talked the kids to sleep.
Iverson shined as a two-sport star at Bethel High School, excelling on the basketball court and as a quarterback and safety on the football field.
He had only one audible when he was in high school, and that was that he could run the quarterback sneak anytime he wanted.
Iverson led Bethel's football and basketball teams to Virginia State championships as a junior, winning Player of the Year awards in both sports. In February of 1993, the then 17-year-old nearly saw his future taken away. Iverson and several friends were involved in an altercation that split along racial lines at a local bowling alley. Iverson argued that this was a case of wrong place at the wrong time, but he was charged and convicted of felony maiming by mob. Iverson was sentenced to 5 years in prison. He would serve 4 months at this Newport News facility before being granted clemency. Eventually, his conviction was overturned.
I thought it was unfair. I was like, I wasn't mad at the world. I was really mad at the people of Hampton, the judicial system.
While most colleges shied away from Iverson following the incident, Hall of Fame coach John Thompson believed Iverson would benefit from his tutelage at Georgetown. AI rewarded Thompson by becoming a first-team All-American as a sophomore. Following that season, Iverson declared for the NBA draft, and the Sixers wasted no time transforming their franchise.
The Philadelphia 76ers select Allen Iverson from Georgetown University.
We assessed Allen Iverson as a person, and we're very satisfied with who he is.
In his first NBA season, Iverson earned Rookie of the Year honors while setting the rookie record with 5 consecutive 40-point games. But that season will forever be remembered for a single moment, where the 6-foot kid from Hampton slayed basketball's biggest name.
Iverson has Jordan. Allen shakes straight. Gets 2!
Blessed with charisma and a killer crossover, Iverson quickly became Madison Avenue's conduit to a new generation of consumers.
I wonder what they'll say about this one.
While Iverson became established as a brand, the Sixers decided it was time to build a non-traditional team around its unorthodox star. It really only took that 1 year for the city of Philadelphia to start to fall in love with Allen Iverson. It took his second head coach just a little bit more. AI and Larry Brown formed the unlikeliest of bonds, but it wasn't always, as Iverson was prone to say, peaches and cream.
He was a challenge. There's so many things about him that you would love, but every day was a challenge.
It remains perhaps the most tenuous player-coach relationship this city has ever seen. Larry Brown came to Philadelphia ahead of Allen Iverson's second season, and from the start, the marriage had its bumps.
If you think that Larry Brown and myself, you know, y'all think that we're not gonna have any altercations, I mean, that's crazy.
And altercations they had, especially on playing time.
Every time I've taken Allen out since I've been here, I've had the same response.
I don't want to come out of the game ever.
Hey, I'm the coach, all right? I have the right to play a guy or not play a guy.
I kind of got upset, and I said some things that I really didn't mean.
He felt by not playing him, I was disrespecting him. And I think personally he probably thought I was pointing a finger at him.
People keep saying that I said it's about believing time, but I didn't say that. You know, I said it was bullshit.
And yes, of course, practice was a problem.
There was confusion on the time, so he didn't get here.
When I said, you know, the reason for me not coming to practice, that should have been enough.
If it was the first time or second time or third time or fourth time, you know, I could be a little sensitive to it, but this is something that, you know, it's a pattern.
Yeah, I was late for practice, but believe me, the times that I heard, the stuff, I mean, nobody will put up with that. I mean, and I'm not even brave enough to miss that many practices.
The frustrations only mounted as the Sixers struggled early in AI's tenure.
Once we start doing bad again, they're going to keep talking about me.
Somewhere along the line, if you're the best player, you take the credit and you take the heat.
The old school coach and his mercurial star butted heads early and often, trying to come to grips with one another's very different personalities.
I wouldn't say I didn't believe in him, but I didn't know a whole lot about him.
I think all the things that he really wants, I want. I understand that. And you know, we go about it in different ways.
I got tired of hearing all the things people talking about coaching myself, coexisting and everything. And it's kind of embarrassing because you're on this level where he's a professional and I'm a professional, and you're talking about two guys, you know, on a professional squad not getting along.
Hopefully he understands what I'm about, so you know, we'll go from there.
It all came to a head in the summer before Iverson's MVP season, when the Sixers seemed set on dealing the answer.
Then I had trades with the Clippers, and I'm thinking to myself, no way they would send me to the Clippers.
But LA wasn't the destination for AI. A deal was all but done with Detroit.
Larry Brown and Billy King called me. I was down the shore in Ocean City when they called and said they were going to have a trade and they were going to trade Allen Iverson. I said, well, let me talk to him first. Can I at least talk to him and let him know that? And so I called him, and I remember saying, Bubba, you're going to get traded. I'm telling you right now, Larry's had enough of you. You're going to get traded. He said, Pat, please, don't trade me, please. I'll do everything he wants, so you know, I'll be on time. I'll be a leader. I'll even be a co-captain with Iverson. Please tell him. And I called Larry back. I said, if half of what he says is true, we got a stone cold winner.
Ultimately, it was Matt Geiger refusing to waive a trade kicker in his contract that derailed the trade and kept Iverson and Brown together, setting the stage for a season Sixers fans will never forget.
Well, every day I was probably ready to trade him. Obviously, the best thing, you know, did transpire. We didn't trade him, and he had as good a year as anybody could possibly have.
Still ahead, Iverson and Larry Brown set their differences aside and embark on one of the most memorable seasons in Philadelphia sports history. We look back on AI's 2001 basketball odyssey when Sixer City returns.
I promise you we'll play every game like it was our last.
Iverson for three. Iverson an angle to the goal. Yes. Iverson breaks his ankle. Iverson sizes up the D and gets two.
Allen Iverson's first 4 NBA seasons established him as a star, but it was his 5th year that saw him make the leap to icon. The diminutive guard turned in a season for the ages while leading his team on a magical journey. But in typical Iverson fashion, the year began in turmoil.
For the year 2G, the rap game changed for one name.
Allen Iverson courted more drama during the 2000 offseason when he released a hip-hop song entitled 40 Bars, which included homophobic lyrics.
This is an Allen Iverson issue. He has to make a statement. He has to define and defend and describe exactly what he meant in those lyrics.
I've been through too much to let somebody with a pen and paper and a microphone and a camera kill me.
When the 2000-2001 season started, Iverson and his teammates sang a tune everyone could enjoy. A 10-0 start to the season catapulted the Sixers into the national spotlight, with Iverson's star shining brightest. Following a stretch of 13 games that saw AI eclipse the 30-point mark 12 times, including 5 40-point performances, AI took center stage at the All-Star game. With the game's best on the floor in Washington, D.C., Iverson proved he was the star of stars.
Iverson, Allen Iverson, beginning to heat up.
Taking home game MVP honors and simultaneously mending fences with Larry Brown in a public display of respect.
Where's my coach? Where's my coach?
With Dikembe Mutombo added prior to the trade deadline, the Sixers coasted to the top record in the Eastern Conference. Iverson and his teammates exercised past demons by dispatching of the Indiana Pacers in round 1. The Raptors would come next in an individual battle with rising star Vince Carter.
It almost goes back to Bird, Dominic Wilkins.
Following a Game 1 loss, Iverson torched the Raptors for 54 points to even the series at a game apiece.
Carter is loose, forget it.
Carter responded with 50 in a Game 3 Raptors romp.
You can't stop guys like him or Allen when they get it going. And sometimes you sit back coaching a game, you become a fan.
Those two players were at the peaks of their games. And this building was absolutely rocking, and Iverson had the place in the palm of his hand.
Prior to Game 5, Iverson received the NBA's Most Valuable Player trophy and set the scene for an iconic performance.
Every time I come in this gym, in this arena, I hear my favorite song. You know, y'all voices. So it's time for y'all to play that song. Let's make this noise and get this party jumping.
Allen had all the answers that night, dropping 52 points in the pivotal Game 5 victory. The series would go the distance. The Sixers would need 16 Iverson assists and a missed Carter jumper at the buzzer to advance to the conference finals. Another Game 7 awaited with Ray Allen and the Bucks. This time, Iverson made sure it would not be a nail-biter. He scored 44 points in a 17-point rout of Milwaukee.
The 76ers are the Eastern Conference champions.
The stage was set for the ultimate in contrast as Iverson's Sixers met Shaquille O'Neal and the defending champion Lakers in the NBA Finals. LA had yet to lose in the playoffs.
If I told my team we're a big underdog, I'd be slighting my team.
We supposed to just come to this series, get swept, and go home for the summer, I guess. We didn't make this long trip just to come down here and roll over and die.
Not only were Philadelphia fans supportive of our team, I think we had the whole world supportive because of Allen, because of that David image against Goliath, Shaq.
After the Lakers jumped out to an early Game 1 lead, Iverson displayed his MVP credentials, scoring 15 points in the final 4 minutes of the second quarter en route to a 30-point first half.
Midcourt pass to Bryant, stolen by Iverson. Here's the Allen into the lane, scoop by up and good.
Allen Iverson tearing the Lakers apart.
Iverson's backcourt mate Eric Snow guaranteed the game would go to overtime, and that allowed Iverson to write the Hollywood ending his 2001 season deserved.
101-99. Iverson against Tyrone Lue. Baseline right, he backs up, he fires 2-ball. Got it again! He's way too good!
I remember Sharon Stone was sitting down the aisle from me. I'm yelling at her, screaming at her. It was great.
It was a competitive part, and I think it was also because they put Tyrone Lue in the guard, Allen. He became a pest. And I remember every time he came to Philly, the fans disliked him. But I think that plays, because Allen just to have the audacity just to step over a guy and make a jumper in front of their bench with them yelling at him. He could do things in a magical moment. Never seen a guy at his size that could just take over a game.
The Lakers were Goliath for a reason. They will go on to win the next 4 games and deprive the Sixers of the ultimate prize. The trophy may belong to LA, but the lasting memory from that series belongs to Iverson.
Anybody that betted on it some broke people out there. Some people got their feelings hurt. I'm glad nobody didn't bet their life on it, because they definitely would be dead right now.
That magical ride in 2001 certainly is an indelible memory for Sixers fans, but it wasn't just what Iverson did on the court that will live on forever in Philly. From off-court antics to speaking his mind at all times, Iverson was a headline maker, no matter what we were talking about.
It's starting right now, Michael. Let's go.
Let's get it going.
Crazy.
Following a disappointing 2002 season, Allen Iverson found himself in the spotlight once again.
The Eastern Conference champions, the Philadelphia 76ers, is about to come to an end.
Scrutiny was aimed Allen Iverson's way as the club failed to get out of the first round of the playoffs, falling in 5 games to the Celtics.
Everybody takes shots at Allen Iverson. It's just unfortunate that I can't punch back.
But his subdued stance early in that May press conference turned aggressive when his practice habits came into question.
We sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for.
The league's MVP a season before, Iverson took affront to what was asked.
We ain't talking about the game. We're talking about practice, man.
Time?
We're not even talking about the game, the actual game.
And time again.
We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that?
The tables turned as the answer became the questioner.
How the hell can I make my teammates better by practice? What you know about basketball? I've been the MVP, bony as hell. So what I gotta do?
What quickly became one of the most quoted and legendary press conferences in sports history ended in style.
Y'all go home and have y'all lovely life, man. Live it up to the fullest.
Being contentious with the media was nothing new for Iverson, nor were off-court issues. Iverson's summer of 2002 was filled with even more controversy. A domestic dispute with his wife, Tawana, turned public, and all eyes turned to the Iverson family.
Don't get out of my face with that crazy stuff. That's rumors. Where you get that from? Because somebody told it to you? Did Tawana tell you that?
Those felony charges were eventually dropped against Iverson, but his reputation continued to take hits. After Larry Brown left town, Iverson would suit up for 4 different coaches over his final 4 years with the Sixers. As the 2006 season wound down, both Iverson and Chris Webber skipped the team's fan appreciation night festivities.
By me getting there late, and you know that's the only thing I really feel bad about, but I actually didn't know that it was going to be magnified the way it was. I didn't know it was going to get out of hand like this.
And just 8 months after that, the Allen Iverson era ended in Philadelphia. The journey from Hampton, Virginia to Philadelphia is a relatively short one, but somewhere along the way, Allen Iverson became a basketball cultural touchstone. We examine the answer's impact both on and off the court when we come back. The memories are numerous, the impact is enormous. In a sports world where conformity and uniformity are often rewarded, Allen Iverson blazed a path that separated him from every player to ever step foot on an NBA floor. And in the process, crossed over into the world of pop culture like no athlete in Philadelphia sports history.
Allen again, yes, and there it is!
It's fitting that Allen Iverson's nickname is The Answer because his talent cannot be questioned. His legacy, however, is a different matter. As complicated as he was gifted, Iverson marched to his own beat.
What you mean, so why?
He was days of our life wrapped up in one. This little guy in this monster sport, and you know, when he'd go like this, the people loved it. I loved it. I mean, because you saw him. You would like to kill him at times, and then other times you just want to hug him and coddle him and protect him. But he had us all in his magic.
There is also the subject at the heart of his most famous press conference.
You're talking about practice.
As good as Allen was, and he was tremendous. And he was, you know, just fun to watch. I don't think I saw the best of Allen Iverson because he didn't put in the work.
While the question of what if lingers, there's no denying Iverson's impact culturally and on the game's next generation.
I think he had a great impact. I mean, you saw a lot of the smaller guys that were coming up believe they can really make it. I mean, he was a guy who was one of the smallest guys in the NBA, but had a huge heart, dominated the league, was the MVP, changed the culture of the NBA where you saw kids getting tattoos and cornrows and really expressing themselves.
Compelling.
3-on-1, Iverson loping through, gets two, beautifully done.
He had a special kind of confidence that only the great ones have. And he carried it to me in a very charming, charismatic way.
Combative.
They find out I gotta come here and ask something about something that don't have anything to do with basketball.
Because every week he would create some kind of chaos because that's where he thrived.
Unyielding.
Prince denying Iverson, wow.
He was relentless. That time and time again, even though he was frail, even though he got knocked to the floor, even though he was always hurt, he just kept going in there.
Warrior.
Iverson steals it, gets it back, tracked by Dunleavy, the block and the foul.
I don't think in the history of the NBA we have ever seen a little man, Allen Iverson, who can come and put a performance like AL did, night after night after night after night.
Where he grew up made him so tough that he could do what he did on the court amongst 7-footers, amongst these giants. He didn't care. He didn't see giants.
The answer's ultimate legacy might just be that he didn't care about his legacy. He lived life on his own terms and played the game the same way.
Got it again! He's way too good!
Allen Iverson's ultimate destination is Springfield, Massachusetts in the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's the journey that he and everyone that witnessed it will forever cherish.
The ride definitely wasn't perfect. I made a whole bunch of mistakes, just like people make, but people look at us like we're not human, and don't understand that, you know, we bleed just like them, and we have feelings just like everybody else. So it's like, I want so much for the people that stuck with me through the whole time. I want them to feel good about it. I want them to feel like they Hall of Famers.